Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 4. My name is Muhammad Akademik bin Ali Azhar, 2518611. And our group will discussing about challenge in balancing materialism and spiritualism. Let's go to slide. Project goals and deliverables. First, we are discussing the challenge of balancing materialism and spiritualism in modern days. Materialism refers to excessive focus on worldly matters. Second, spirituality. Spirituality refers to strengthen one relationship only to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. This project is to explain how materialism affects Muslims in modern days, morally and spiritually. Second, the third one, the project also proposes Islamic solutions to achieve balance in dunya and akhirah. Third, research question. What are materialism and spiritualism to Islamic perspective? Second, what challenge do Muslims face in balancing worldly study and spiritual responsibilities? Third, how does materialism affect human behavior, morality, and religious practice? Fourth, what solution does Islam provide to maintain balance between dunya and akhirah? Methodology. Qualitative research methods. Our research method includes academic books, journal and articles, Islamic scholar writings, Quran and Hadith. This project analyzes modern social issues using Islamic review approach. Lastly, we discuss an analysis based on authentic Islamic teaching and scholarship opinions. That's all from me. Move to the next person. Thank you.
Thank you to my roommate. Moving on, I will briefly share the executive summary of our project. Our study explored a critical issue, which is the extension crisis among modern individuals due to imbalance between materialism and spiritualism. We found that the excessive consumer culture, social media, pressure, and financial stress trap people in hedonism. Through our qualitative research and survey, the data show that while most Muslims highly value spiritual life, they admit that maintaining this balance is incredibly tough today. So, this project proposes actionable Islamic solution such as practicing tazkiyatun nafs and embracing wasatiyah to help us achieve true inner peace in both dunya and akhirah. Alright, moving to our next slide, which is project background. So our project addresses the challenges of today's globalized era, where success is solely measurable by materialism and luxury. This excessive boasting or takathur corrupt the soul. Imam Al-Ghazali beautifully analogized that if the word like water enters the herd, the ship it will drown and feel masculine. Therefore, this study provides practical guidance to help society balance physical and spiritual dimension, allowing us to achieve worldly progress without improving security day after life. So that's all for me. Thank you.
So the next one, I would like to talk about the conflict between materialism and spirituality in modern society. Nowadays, many people chase wealth, luxury, and social status, especially because of social media influence and friends and their friend influence. However, even after achieving these things, they may still feel unhappy or empty because, according to Al-Ghazali, becoming too attached to worldly life or dunya can weaken their hearts. Islam teaches us wasatiyah, which means balance between worldly success and spiritual well-being. There are three main conflicts we can see. First of all, material things only give temporary happiness, which is Islam promote us sakinah, which is mean true inner peace. And secondly, many people think wealth fully belongs to them, but Islam teach the wealth is a trust from Allah. Thirdly, Islam warns us against takatur, which is the unhealthy competition to always want more, and encourage tazkiyah or self-purification. So, lastly, to overcome this issue, we should strengthen our spiritual practice, manage our spending wisely, and reduce unhealthy comparison on social media. So, for example, if we want to spend, we shall not spend very too much. We shall spend what is necessity to us and not what we demand and wants more and more than that. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Farhan Hakim bin Muhammad Naim, 2514367. So right now I'll be sharing about the evidence that we have been gathered from Al-Quran, Hadith, and the views from a scholar. So first from the Quran, we have Surah An-Nur verse 37 that shows how Islam does not forbid people from doing businesses and earning money to support their life. It only teaches not to put it above one's faith. Basically, it talks about how people should balance between dunya and the akhirah. This verse also mentioned about how it is very important to maintain our relationship with Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, such as performing zakat and performing prayer, because it is as a preparation for once in the day of judgment. From a hadith narrated by Ibn Abbas radhiyallahu anhu, where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Make use of the 5 good things before the coming of the other 5. Your youth before your old age, your health before sickness, your wealth before deficit, your free time before you are busy, and your life before your death." So basically, it means that we have to use our property in this world as a tool for us to closer our relationship to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. We should not forget about our part in this world. God have rights as submittments from His slave towards Him, and we also have rights such as drinking, eating, and also marriage. Then fulfill each of their own rights. And from the scholars, from Imam Al-Ghazali in the Ihya Ulum Al-Din, he says the world is like water. If it enter the ship, it will sink it, but if the ship rides upon it, it will reach its destination safely. In this saying, Imam Ghazali compares worldly life to water and humans to a ship. A ship can safely travel on the water, but if the water gets into the ship will sink. So how can we connect this? Chasing luxury and any other worldly matters without limits can make people neglect their own responsibility in this world as a Khalifa. But Islam teaches that how success should help us become more closer to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala rather than distract us from Him. We also conduct a survey on people about how hard to maintain materialistic lifestyle and about how they understand the importance of spiritual and purpose of their life, and about the challenges for them to balance both materialistic lifestyle and the spiritual purpose. And the finding shows that the respondents shows higher care on the spiritual values compared to the materialistic values. And also, respondent also shows the understanding of the importance balancing between worldly matters and spiritual obligations. But despite that, they also still experience challenges in maintaining that balance. This is because influences such as social media, financial pressure, and lifestyle comparison still plays a role in their minds.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Darush Ani bin Azhan, and I'm going to conclude our presentation for today. Right, to wrap things up, let's look at what we can take away from our project. First, our group looked at the constant tug of war between materialism and spirituality. From our survey, we found something really interesting. Even though modern society constantly pushes us to buy more things and chase money, most people actually still value peace, faith, and family way more than wealth. But the real issue is that finding a balance is hard. People want to balance life and religion, but they struggle because of social media pressure, constantly comparing themselves to others, and the everyday stress of money. In Islam, making money or being successful isn't a sin. Wealth is just a trust from Allah. The real danger is letting the dunya fill our hearts. Like the famous analogy by Imam Al-Ghazali, a ship is perfectly safe on top of the water, but the moment water gets inside, it sinks. It's the same with us and worldly wealth. So, how do we fix this? Our project shows we need to practice moderation, wasatiyah, and purify our hearts through tazkiyah an-nafs. Practically, this means controlling our spending and putting our phones down to avoid social media envy and staying consistent with our prayers. Moving forward, we recommend a few areas for further study. First, we need more research on how scrolling through luxury lifestyles on social media impacts the mental health and religious habits of young Muslims over time. Second, it would be great to create a way to measure spiritual contentment to see how trusting Allah helps people beat financial anxiety. And finally, future studies should look into how companies can better support Muslim workers so employees can do their jobs well without losing time for their spiritual duties. That concludes our presentation. Thank you.